back to the channel. It's another video driving around Tasmania.
First half. The game was too quick for them early on. You know, I think if you look at the way that Collingwood want to play, especially with ball in hand, they like to sort of, let's talk about from kick-ins, they like to get it to sort of half back, slow the game down, allow numbers to get to the contest, then long to the contest. They were forced to play a bit more chaotic, which just didn't suit them. I think you look into a few things as well. Like there was, illness went through the organisation, so they'd always, zap some energy out as well. This was, they sit 3 games or now 2 games on top of the ladder. This was Gold Coast's biggest game for the year, a sellout crowd in. So there was a lot to like if you were preparing in terms of the motivation from the Gold Coast Suns, and off the back of that, they were able to deliver. So I think this game in its entirety, they'd be really pleased with. Clearly the first half, and then clearly the way they were able to.
They're talking football on the radio, but check out that sunrise. Absolutely sensational. Oh yeah. Geez, that looks good. Something in the aircon always taps. Time is it now? It's about 10 to 8. It's supposed to have rain today, but obviously not. It's a little lighthouse just up there on the left, but very hard to see in between those trees. Low tide. on the Bass Highway heading towards Launceston. But we're way up, just left Wivenhoe. Look at the sand down there, that looks nice this time of the day. The end of the water views, I'm not sure. Could be wrong. I could be wrong. Currently 2 degrees Celsius. But it is winter and it's a beautiful, like it is a good time of year. The crisp, clean, cool air. You gotta talk it up. you gotta talk it up. Statue there with the multicoloured. You can turn off here to go to the town of Penguin at this roundabout, but we're on the highway. We're actually running a bit late for where I need to be. Yeah, go down that road there to the lovely town of Penguin, but we're heading off to Devonport via and then off to Launceston. But let's see how long this video goes for. It's just a beautiful day. Just thought, you know what, another day, I'm going on a drive, why don't you come with me? Launceston's 137 kilometres from here. It's about an hour and a half, maybe hour and 20 minutes. Definitely won't. I don't know whether. Would you like to see the full drives somewhere? Like, if I drive to Hobart, it's going to be 4.5 to 5 hours. People have filmed those, but they've sped them up so they finish in 16 minutes. And you really don't see too much. There we go, just the last look out. Oh, can't see the sun. Oh, it's just out of shot. Oh well, let's just enjoy the drive. very soon. Let's hear what they're waffling on about on the news.
Race days across 3 tracks, Caulfield, Mornington, Sportsbet, Sandown, including members' access to the Sportsbet Caulfield Cup Carnival. Join now at mrc.racing.com. Plenty more still to come after this with John Lewis on a Monday on Breakfast.
Get your Victorian previews for Sunday racing every week from 8 a.m. on Turf Talk. Broadcasting throughout Victoria. RSN Sports Update. Good morning, I'm Andrew Lindsley. Australian golf is celebrating another major winner, with Grace Kim winning the Evian Championship in France in a playoff. A chip in on the first extra hole, going a long way to secure the historic win. Yes! Incredible! Wizardry! For Grace Kim, there was Aussie motivation around the course.
There's a picture of Kari as you walk into the locker room, walking down 18 as well, so seeing that each day is motivating. Obviously, Minji's first major was this one, and this is now my first major as well. I'm not sure when it'll sink in for sure, but yeah, this is incredible.
With President Donald Trump at the ground, Chelsea have beaten Paris Saint-Germain 3-0 to win football's Club World Cup final this morning in the US. In front of 80,000 people, Cole Palmer was the star for Chelsea, involved in each of the 3 goals.
Oh, what a trick for Palmer! The finish is almost a carbon copy!
Yannick Sinner has tasted Wimbledon success for the first time, beating Carlos Alcaraz in 4 sets. Sinner lost the opening set, but then found gears to win in 4. The first Italian to win on Wimbledon centre court in a men's final is still out celebrating the victory.
It feels amazing. A tournament I always, dreamed of just playing and to be part of, and now, sitting here with the trophy, even if it's not here, it's amazing. So yeah, amazing feelings.
In AFL, Hawthorn coach Sam Mitchell is well aware how tough the task will be over the next few weeks. A loss to Fremantle now have the Hawks playing both Adelaide teams, Collingwood and Brisbane, all on the way home.
If we look at the season holistically, and we know there's 9 teams that have got a slight gap on the rest, and there's only 8 that make the finals, and there's only 4 that get what everyone really wants, which is the top 4 spot, and balls in our court.
On playing in the finals, Swans coach Dean Cox isn't mentioning the F word just yet, but they are getting back to their best form.
My expectation for the playing group is to make sure that we present each week and do our best and utmost to make sure that we can win games of football. That won't change. They're aware of that, and they'll live up to that.
RSN, Racing and Sport.
Some showers are forecast for Victoria. Melbourne for Monday, cloudy and 13 degrees.
Oh, well, that's a Victorian radio station we get over here in Tasmania. And you realise they were just talking sport. tanker. Another container coming off the ports from Burnie, heading down to wherever it needs to go. were slowing down.
Challenge on the weekend.
Yep, that's right.
Against Adelaide, and I did that game, and we spoke to Luke Beveridge pre-game about the challenge that they faced. But I mean, Adelaide put on 10 goals in the first half. Like, that's their third worst.
Once we're easing back to 15 to 25 knots. Seas 2 metres, swell 1.5 to 2.5 metres, back to 1 to 1.5 metres this afternoon, and some showers in Bass Strait, mainly offshore. Tide times, we had a high at 2:13 this afternoon, 3.2 metres, and a low at 8:30 tonight, 1.1 metres. Right now, Sheffield 4, and we've got 6 on the coast. It's 6:08. You're up to date. Sorry, mate, at 8:08. You're up to date, 7:18.
Live from the top of Todd Road, broadcasting to Devonport and the Northwest Coast. This is 7:18 Breakfast with Darren Kerwin.
Okay, some traffic info. Motorists are asked to use caution at the intersection of Churchill's Road and Native Plains Road, Sassafras, due to some fallen power lines. Crews are on the scene now, I believe. And also, truck is blocking the left-hand lane of the Bass Highway at Westbury eastbound, around 2 k's west of the Birrelly Road exit, following a minor crash there this morning. No injuries reported. Okay, so that's just down to 1 lane. Be careful there. Any other problems?
Oh, ahead there.
655 111 so we can pass it on. Same number if you'd like to get on a birthday call. We'll do those next at 7:18.
Where they're going to try and nut out some of these really difficult questions. We've put them off for a long time. We had this intergenerational report that comes out every 5 years that basically says, hey, we need to look to the future. It will be interesting to see now that this document has illuminated for the public and others how much appetite the government has for structural tax reform, something the Treasury says needs to occur.
Now, you know all this because you conducted a Freedom of Information request to get this document, but some of the document you're not supposed to have, according to Treasury.
Yes, so after the election, every minister and every department and agency makes a incoming government brief for the new minister. I use the Freedom of Information process to ask for all of them, and I've received about half of them. In this one in Treasury, it was essentially completely redacted. I found no useful information in it. However, Treasury kept asking for it to be deleted and replaced with a different version that they gave me. It's kind of maybe chuckle at the time. I don't know what they could possibly redact more out of the document that I received. But after some digging by myself and some of my colleagues at the ABC, we found this extra section, essentially chapter headings, bookmarks and notes for books that were completely redacted and I hadn't been given access to. So Treasury did not want us to have this information. The ABC believes that it's in the public interest and has published it today. It gives us a really clear insight into the substantial economic challenges facing the Albanese government in its second term, and it is a good thing that the Treasury is being so fearless in talking to the bosses and saying things like, hey, your chief election commitment that you made will not be met.
Daniel Ziffer there. The Prime Minister's meeting business leaders in Shanghai today as he continues.
Of course he's in China.
Anthony Albanese will also host a roundtable with top steel industry representatives as Australia grapples with the consequences of China's decarbonisation drive. Yet a weekend intervention by the United States demanding to know what role Australia would play if the US and China went to war over Taiwan is likely to continue to dog the PM on his visit. Our Foreign Affairs reporter Stephen Jedgetts is travelling with Mr Albanese and he joined me earlier from Shanghai. Stephen, why is the Prime Minister meeting with steel industry leaders today?
Yes.
Sabra, steel's really at the heart of Australia's economic relationship with China, and for years, of course, Australia's exports of both iron ore and
Yeah, we give China all the iron ore. They make the steel and we buy it back. All our manufacturing has gone to crap because the government are a bunch of I won't say it, but
steel production
yeah,
to
idiots.
other markets for iron ore, and critically, it's also now trying to decarbonise the industry, and that has really big implications for Australia. And it does mean our resources trade is going to change over time. China's now looking at new ways to make steel, including so-called green steel. Australia wants to make sure that as that happens, it's not left out in the cold, and that it can continue to play a key economic role helping China produce steel. But doing that will take plenty of work.
Bloody China's the biggest polluter in the world, apart from India.
Into this transition, the PM is trying to signal that
Anyway.
Australia's government sees this as a key national interest, and no wonder, Sabra, when the trade is this big, it's got big implications for Australia's budget and prosperity.
And what else is the Prime Minister up to in Shanghai?
Oh, kiss
Although
them
it'll
butt.
continue to be a bit of a business theme this morning. He's going to meet a host of other senior business leaders
That's
from
it,
both
kiss 'em
Australia
butt.
and China, and he'll give a speech to them as well later today.
Oh, I'm
Noticeably
Anthony Albanese.
saying that these business links haven't just
You might gather that I don't really like the
prosperity,
man.
but have also helped ensure the bilateral political relationship isn't defined by its differences. The Prime Minister's expected to say that both countries can contribute to regional and global peace and prosperity if they manage their relationship effectively. Now,
It's
of course,
called-
Anthony Albanese
yes.
is already copping flack from
He's
some
on his knees
coalition
already.
for drawing too close to China, and this speech is unlikely to have any different reaction.
That's right.
Let's talk about the weekend intervention from the
Well, the sun's gonna become a pain, I
What
guess.
allies Australia
Oh,
and
yeah.
Japan will do in the event of war between the US and China over Taiwan. Mr. Albanese's batted that away as a
Let's look at-
question.
let's look out
Will
to
that
sea a
continue
bit.
to document on this trip?
Yeah, I think it will almost certainly, Sabra, at least today. I mean, the Trump administration is clearly signalling that it wants close allies like Australia and Japan to spend more on defence and to make clearer commitments to collective deterrence when it comes to China, whether that's over Taiwan or any other potential catastrophe. Now, over the weekend, as you say, the Prime Minister's essentially battled away this question, which the senior Pentagon official, Rich Colby, publicly forced him to do by pressing Australia and other nations to say more about it, how they'd respond if the US did go to war with China. Now, the Prime Minister clearly hinted yesterday that he thought these demands were out of line because the US has itself made no firm commitment to defending Taiwan should China invade. But, of course, this is a hugely sensitive subject here in China, and I guess this episode was just another reminder of how fine a line Mr. Albanese will have to walk between a confident and sometimes very aggressive China.
Hey, see the little fence there on the left? There's a little, like, chain wire fence. That's to stop the penguins walking out on the road. I don't know if you can see it. Let me change the camera angle. See that little white picket fence you see there with the chain wire? Yeah, that's to stop the penguins walking out from the ocean there. They come up into the shrubbery where they got their little nests. And there's the old chain wire fence.
Israeli military. The result.
Jeez. Why are we here while we're listening to our ABC talking about news? They lean one way and they talk about it in that. Anyway, let's go back to clean air, green grass. There's a good spot to park there to go down and see the penguins on the left. Anyway, let's get back to the green grass and the cows polluting the atmosphere with their methane. Yeah. Who come up with that crap? I thought we need CO2s to survive. Anyway, I'm getting way too... it's too early in the morning to think the world's going to crap. The world is going to crap, but hey, we're in the best place in the world, the beautiful island of Tasmania. Look at this, you know, people whizzing past me in a, what's that, a KM, Kia Motors, Yup. Look at that farmland. It's all been ploughed over there on the left. You got on the right another brown patch of rich volcanic earth. We grow the best food. We are the... I'll tell you, until you come here, you really don't appreciate how good this place is. Honestly. Slow down to 90. Coming in towards Don. I'm going to go over the Don River in a sec. On this little concrete, this bridge here. Is Don. Is good. Alright, here it goes. The Don River is below us. It's pretty brown. Had a bit of rain. Okay, turn off here to Don, Devonport and Sprayton. That's a Victorian car. He's got Victorian number plates. So we call them Mexicans for some strange reason. Alright, let's let this guy in. He's in a Subaru. Or as we call him over here, a Scooby-Doo. We had a spike in the temperature. Oh man, there's a lovely view again. Look at that. Mountains in the distance. Tell you what was funny the other day. There was a news story and it gained a lot of traction. It got on the ABC. It got on the television. It got on the radio. It was about one man who's complaining about the air quality where he lives in Tasmania. He can't live here because of the smoke from the everyone's fireplaces. He can't live here. He has to leave the island. Tasmania is so polluted, and he was going on and on. There's an ambulance on the other side of the road. Lights flashing. There he goes. Yeah, apparently he's got a lung problem, and that really, that's a catalyst. He had a problem even before he come here. He come here for the clean air. Why would you buy a house in a valley in the countryside, in a deep valley? Not just, if you're looking for clean air, you'd be either on the coast or you'd be towards the mountains. You'd buy at a high elevation. You'd buy it not in a valley situation where everyone knows the heavy air just sits. And if you've got a lot of people with fireplaces, and we're going across the Mersey River here as well with this bridge here at Devonport. See if you can see the water through the fence line. I think you can. This is where the ferry comes in. Oh, there we go, look at that. Very nice. Turn off here to go to the Spirit of Tasmania terminal. Catch the ferry over to the mainland. But getting back to the story, this one guy, I feel sorry for him. He had some complaints about his health. But if you're coming here for the clean air, come here for the clean air to live. Don't come here in the middle of, don't come here, buy a house in a valley, in a sharp, steep valley, where everyone knows, even 10-year-olds will know, like if people got smoke in a heavy winter evening, that valley will hold the smoke in until the winds come through and blow them out. But you know, and no, like, I would have asked the question if I was the journalist. I would have said, Tasmania is a beautiful place. There are some places where, yes, in winter when people are running their wood fireplaces, you might get a bit of smoke here, especially in a valley. You know, why wouldn't you buy on top of the ridge? Why wouldn't you live towards the coast? I don't know. But guess what? There was a slant on the whole interview because they branched from that interview into the quality of air pollution in Tasmania, which, let me say, Google it. Quality of air in Tasmania is the best in the world. Just check it out. It'll tell you. The cleanest air is down south of the island, even on the east coast, the west coast, any of that coast. But yeah, so the moral of that story was that they found one guy to complain about his living conditions, and the poor guy leaves the island for winter. He goes up to Queensland. Guess why? Because there's no fireplaces there, but he's not in a valley. Anyway, I'm sounding a bit conspiracy feelings a bit that way today. But yeah, they branched from that one story into the next story, which was all about maybe thinking about getting rid of wood fireplaces in Tasmania, which I'm telling you, if some politician brings that in, he will be shanghaied. Well, because some people here, you get, you know, like, as you can see, the countryside is everywhere. There is trees aplenty. It's not like we're going to chop every tree down to burn wood in a fireplace. And timber is the most sustainable form of energy because it just keeps growing. And it keeps putting oxygen back into the air, if that makes sense. What do they release? Is it CO2s? What do our leaves? Anyway, without trees we'd all be stuffed. Here's the big hospital there on the right. Anyway, we might leave it here. This is Latrobe. So we've been going for half an hour. Thanks for watching. Stick around. Down the bottom here you'll see another video in the end screen. Click on that and I'll take you for another drive. This is Island Life in Tasmania. Or Tasmania Island Life. Bye for now.